Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to dive into something that has been making waves across the crypto ecosystem and deserves much more attention than it has been getting in mainstream conversations. The discussion revolves around the powerful partnership between Uphold and Zebec Network, ZBCN, two players in the blockchain world who have quietly but steadily been shaping the future of finance. While some projects in crypto thrive on hype, empty promises, or quick speculative pumps, what makes this partnership different is that both Uphold and Zebec have been working on building long-term infrastructure that solves real problems in payments, payroll, compliance, and financial connectivity. We'll break down why this partnership matters, what it means for the wider crypto landscape, and how it connects to the next wave of adoption that could bring tens of millions of new users into blockchain finance over the next year. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. It should not be considered financial advice, investment advice, or trading advice. Cryptocurrency investments are highly volatile and carry significant risk. Always do your own research, and if needed, consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any investment decisions. The opinions expressed in this video are solely my own and do not represent the views of any company or project mentioned. The first thing to understand is how Uphold approaches the market. Unlike exchanges that rely heavily on a single order book and often struggle with liquidity or fair pricing, Uphold has carved out a space where they provide a much broader, more reliable, and consistent trading experience. They're not dependent on just one exchange or one liquidity pool, which means when people plug into Uphold's ecosystem, they get access to some of the best prices in the market without the fragility of relying on a single venue. This is not just theory. This is one of the reasons why Uphold has earned a reputation for being a trustworthy, efficient, and dependable gateway for retail investors, institutional players, and anyone who wants to interact with digital assets. And when it comes to their holdings, Uphold is not just another exchange. They are one of the biggest holders of XRP, which makes sense given their deep connections with the payments and remittance use case. But interestingly, and this is where the story really starts to unfold, they are also one of the biggest holders of ZBCN. In fact, Uphold's CEO has publicly confirmed that the platform holds around 100 million ZBCN tokens, which makes them not just a supporter, but a deeply vested partner in the success of Zebec Network. This holding alone is a major statement because in the US, ZBCN is not available on most exchanges. In fact, Uphold is one of the only platforms in the United States that lists and allows people to buy ZBCN directly. This exclusivity matters because it positions Uphold as the go-to exchange for anyone in the US who wants exposure to Zebec. When ZBCN was first listed on Uphold, the exchange quickly became a top volume venue for trading the token, which shows there was already pent-up demand from users looking for access. In one interview clip, the CEO explained that the project resonated very strongly with their user base and that the token's performance has been nothing short of remarkable. Since the listing, the price of ZBCN has increased by more than 500%, making it one of the most successful launches Uphold has all year. But beyond the numbers, what really excites both the exchange and its user base is the underlying philosophy of Zebec as a project. This is not a meme coin or a short-term speculative play. Zebec is about blockchain as infrastructure, about updating the financial system itself rather than simply adding noise or hype to the market. That distinction is critical because in a space where attention is often drawn to gimmicks, Zebec's focus on real-world utility stands out as a reason why Uphold has thrown its weight behind the project. Another reason this partnership is gaining so much traction is because it isn't just happening in the digital or online realm. It's been confirmed that Zebec is working with 6 different teams and will soon be in front of more than 30 million people on TV, a scale of exposure that is unprecedented for many blockchain projects. This exposure is being driven through partnerships with major sports teams and stadiums in cities like Milwaukee, Las Vegas, Atlanta, St. Louis, Detroit, and Minneapolis, cities that collectively represent more than 20 million people in their metro areas. By tying their brand to sports and entertainment, Zebec and Uphold are putting crypto into spaces where everyday Americans are already engaged, curious, and eager to learn about financial innovations. Stadium advertising has always been a powerful way to reach mainstream audiences, but here it is more than just branding. It's also about onboarding. The vision is to go beyond just placing logos on billboards or scoreboards and to actively integrate crypto payments into the stadium experience. Imagine being able to pay for tickets, food, or merchandise directly with crypto using Zebec cards or wallet-based payment tools. That kind of integration doesn't just build brand recognition. It creates real-world utility for millions of people, many of whom may be using crypto for the very first time. Simon McLaughlin, the CEO of Uphold, has emphasized repeatedly that this is all about preparing for the next wave of adoption. He believes that over the next 12 months, 20 to 30 million Americans will buy crypto for the first time, driven by new regulatory clarity, improved compliance, and the growing realization that digital assets are here to stay. This estimate aligns with broader projections that between 30 and 50 million Americans could become first-time crypto buyers in the near term. This scale of adoption would be a historic moment for the industry. And partnerships like the one between Zebec and Uphold, which focus not only on visibility, but also on seamless, compliant, and reliable financial rails, will be the ones best positioned to capture these new users. Think about it. When people step into crypto for the first time, they want smooth onboarding, stable payment options, and reliable platforms that they can trust. Zebec's payroll streaming technology and Uphold's compliance-first exchange model provide exactly that. What makes this story even more exciting is that Zebec and Uphold aren't just content with what they're doing in stadiums or in terms of token listings. They're actively working on new product launches together. In one teaser, both companies hinted at integrating Zebec's payroll streaming super app with Uphold's platform, potentially unlocking a suite of services that could change how businesses and individuals manage their money on-chain. Payroll streaming, for those who aren't familiar, is a revolutionary concept where instead of receiving a paycheck every 2 weeks or once a month, employees can get paid in real time, streamed directly to their wallet in stablecoins like USDC or even in crypto assets of their choice. This system is not only more efficient, but also far more empowering for workers, giving them immediate access to their earnings and allowing them to save, spend, or invest as they choose. When combined with Uphold's exchange infrastructure, this could become one of the most powerful financial applications in crypto today. Imagine a future where workers around the world can receive their salaries in real time, in the currency they prefer, and instantly convert those funds into other assets with the reliability of a regulated platform like Uphold. That's not just a crypto experiment. That's a full-scale disruption of how payroll and financial services operate today. Looking ahead, the roadmap for Zebec and Uphold includes much more than just advertising and payroll products. Toward the end of September, Zebec is hitting 2 critical milestones: becoming micro-compliant and attending the SWIFT conference in Frankfurt, Germany. The significance of the SWIFT conference cannot be overstated. This is the annual gathering of some of the most influential banks, payment companies, and financial institutions in the world. To be present at this event, and more importantly, to be in discussions with institutions like Deutsche Bank, signals that Zebec is not just aiming at retail adoption, but is actively building infrastructure for institutional adoption as well. One of the projects mentioned is AllUnity, a Euro-backed stablecoin initiative connected to Deutsche Bank. If Zebec is playing a role in providing the infrastructure for this kind of institutional stablecoin, then we are looking at a company that is directly shaping the future of global finance. This ties into a broader narrative around stablecoins and central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. We've already seen Circle with USDC, backed by U.S. Treasuries, become a dominant player in the dollar-backed stablecoin market. In Europe, the European Central Bank is rolling out the digital euro, and in the UK, there are conversations around a digital pound. Banks are realizing that stablecoins offer a faster, more efficient, and globally accessible way to move money compared to traditional rails. The CEO of Uphold has gone as far as saying that there could be an $80 trillion financial shift into this market as banks and institutions increasingly move toward issuing and supporting stablecoins. The reasoning is simple. The next generation of wealth is digital native, and they expect their financial institutions to provide seamless on-chain services as a matter of course. For banks, brokers, and financial institutions, failing to adapt means losing relevance in a rapidly evolving financial landscape. This shift also reflects a change in political and regulatory attitudes. For years, crypto has been treated with skepticism, sometimes even hostility, by regulators and politicians. It was often seen as a pariah technology, associated with speculation, scams, or illicit activities. But now, as regulatory clarity improves and compliance frameworks like SOC 2, FCA approvals, and ISO 222 standards are rolled out, institutions are realizing that blockchain is not just a passing trend, it's an infrastructure upgrade. Zebec has already passed through compliance checks, including SOC 2 and FCA approval, and with ISO 222 rolling out in November 2025, the timing couldn't be better. These certifications are critical because they show that Zebec is not just building fast, it's building right, meeting the rigorous standards that banks and institutions require before they integrate new technology into their systems. It becomes clear why partnerships like Zebec and Uphold matter so much. They represent the bridge between two worlds, the fast-moving, innovative world of crypto startups and the slow-moving, heavily regulated world of traditional finance. Zebec brings innovation like payroll streaming and stablecoin infrastructure. Uphold brings compliance, credibility, and an established user base that trusts its services. Together, they can accelerate mass adoption in a way that few other partnerships can. And while there will always be new projects, competitors, and narratives in the crypto space, it's important to remember that Zebec was one of the first movers in the stablecoin payroll space. They built the rails before most people even realized how big this narrative would become. That first-mover advantage, combined with regulatory approval and institutional partnerships, positions Zebec uniquely well for the future. To conclude, we're witnessing the early stages of a massive shift. Banks are getting involved, institutions are waking up, regulators are providing clarity, and companies like Zebec and Uphold are building the infrastructure that will allow millions of new users to onboard into the crypto ecosystem safely, reliably, and with real-world utility. This is not about hype or speculative bubbles. This is about building the future of finance, one partnership at a time. Whether it's payroll streaming, euro-backed stablecoins, or stadium crypto payments, Zebec and Uphold are proving that the path to mass adoption runs through real products, real compliance, and real partnerships. And for anyone paying attention, that's a future worth being excited about. If you enjoyed this breakdown and found it valuable, don't forget to hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the world of crypto, blockchain, and financial innovation. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support means a lot and helps us keep bringing you the content that matters most in this fast-moving space.